Hey, what's up guys, it's City and today we will be making this breaking text animation in Blender. So I'm in version 4.1, but you can use any older version, it doesn't matter. And I already have my text in here. If you don't know how to make a text, you can watch any of my older videos. So select the text and press F3 and type cell fracture. Change all the scale values to 0.2. And also change the material to 1. Make a new collection, so all the broken parts of the text will be put in here and press OK. Okay, the text is now broken. Select the whole thing, hide it from the viewport and the render. Now press Shift A and add a plane and press R90 to rotate it. And add another plane as well. Split the viewport, add a geometry node editor. With this plane selected, press New and get the whole particle collection and bring it down here. We don't need the group input, so delete it and separate children. Now let's add a scale instances node, hide the particle folder, and as you can see we can scale them individually, but we want to make something more complex. So get this plane and name it effector and bring it down to the geometry node editor, make it relative. We will also need a position node. Connect the position node to a subtract node and also connect the location to the subtract node. We will need a dot product node and make the x value 1. Connect it to the scale node. As you can see, we already get the effect, and if we move the effector, it's changing. It is kind of what we want, but it doesn't look right, of course, and we will fix that by adding a map range node in the middle. Make the minimum 1 and the maximum 3. And now if we move the plane, we get this effect. If you want the text to come from the other way, you can change these values, make the minimum 1 and the maximum 0, and it does exactly that. Okay, so now make the end frame 96. I'm using 24 frames per second, so it's 4 seconds of animation. On the first frame, go somewhere where your text is not visible, just like that, and press I and add a keyframe. Go to the last frame and also press I and add a keyframe. Go to the middle frame, which is 48, and put it somewhere where your whole text is visible. That's good enough. Now we have this animation, but we will make it way smoother. Select all the keyframes and make the easing mode ease in and out, and also the interpolation mode, make it quadratic. Let's also hide the effector and let's add a displacement effect so the text looks better. Add a set position node and on the offset add a noise texture node and connect color. Get the subtract node, press Shift D and place it right here, and press Shift D and place another one here and change it to scale. Make the scale 0.06 and make the noise scale 13 and the subtract 0.5. We want this to be changing every second, so make it 4D, and we get this W value. That's pretty much a seed value. Drag it and connect it to a scene time node. And get the scale node and place it right here, and this way we can control how fast it goes. Yeah, these are the settings I will be using, 0.007 and 0.075. Now let's add another set position node, and we will need these three things, so select them and press Shift D. Connect it to the offset again, make the scale 25, go to the first frame and make the scale 0.4 and add a keyframe, and go to the 20th frame and make it 0 and add a keyframe. Also go to the last frame, make it 0.4 again, add a keyframe. Go to the last frame, -20, make it 0 and add another keyframe. It looks pretty smooth now, the whole thing. So let's go on to create the material. Change the render engine to cycles, the device to GPU. Also change the light paths to full global illumination so you have better lighting. And go down to film and make it transparent. On the world properties, click here and add an HDRI. And now let's change to rendered mode. Before you close the geometry node tab, add the set material node and select your material. You can now close down the timeline and make it a shader editor. Select your text, press new and select the material you selected in the node group. Press Shift A and add a Musgrave node. Make the scale 1.2 and connect the height to a scale node. Make the scale 0.3 and connect it to the roughness. Get the Musgrave again and connect it to a bump node and connect the normal to a normal. Also connect the scale to the subsurface weight. Let me click that so we can see the material better. I will use this purple color for the base color. And in the end, connect the scale node to another scale node, make it 0.3 and connect it to the scene weight and make the roughness 0.2. And you can now render. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to know what I used to turn this text to this final render, you can find a whole tutorial on my Patreon, and you can also get access to a bunch of other stuff I post there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.